Welcome, welcome. Today we are doing tapping on the imposter syndrome. So, if you're not aware of what this is, you will know what it is when I explain to you what it is. It's very, very, very common. In fact, I believe everybody has a sense of imposter syndrome, and in the course of succeeding at anything, this can be absolutely crippling. So, this is kind of like the I'm not good enough thing that all of us have inside of us. We're always, to a certain extent, some people more than others, we're second guessing ourselves. We don't feel like we measure up. We feel inadequate. It's like we're comparing ourselves. So, comparison is just don't do it. Do not compare yourself to anybody else because you will either be inadequate in that comparison relationship or you will be superior, and neither is good. You do not want to compare yourself to anybody. You are a one person race. Okay. You don't want to compete when you're in the entrepreneurial space. You want to dominate, right? So you're not always looking sideways. There's this great sort of analogy of an athlete. This actually happened, and it was in the, I'm sure it's happened in athletics, as in running races and all the rest of it, but this was actually a swimmer's race, and I don't know who the competitors were, but there were two swimmers who were, coming into the finish line, and one swimmer who was actually marginally behind, she went so hard and lunged in for the final touch, while the other swimmer was looking over to see where she was. That the one who lunged and just ran her race, swam her race, she was the one who won. So you don't want to be comparing yourself to other people. You want to look always at how you can improve on what it is that you're doing, on how you are serving your customers, your clients, on the value that you're offering the marketplace as an entrepreneur. And this puts you head and shoulders above everybody else. Now, you can look at what other people are doing in the marketplace. I'm not saying that you don't look at your competitors and see what they're doing, but you don't compare yourself to them. You look at what they're doing that's working, what they're doing that's not working. You adopt what's working, and you learn from their mistakes. That's just smart business, right? So, and in any relationship, if you are comparing yourself, then you are losing, basically. So, the imposter syndrome, and what we're going to do is we're going to start tapping. So, tapping is the whole point of this exercise, right? So, we're going to tap on these points as I speak through this imposter syndrome and I explain it. And then we're going to do some targeted tapping on not feeling good enough, on feeling inadequate, on feeling like you have to know more, be more, learn more, all that stuff, right? So, because this is huge, and it's very, very common for conscious entrepreneurs, for healers, for coaches, for people who are like, oh, I'll just do one more course. If I do one more course, then I'll know enough. Then I'll be enough. Enough. Enough with having to know more, because you have so much knowledge and wisdom, and you have already acquired skills that you haven't even recognized yet. You have these superpowers and these gifts and these talents, and most people live their lives not even understanding the incredible value that they can offer from what they already know. I'm not saying stop learning. Far from it. I'm always learning. I'm always investing in myself. I'm always looking to improve on my skill set and become better at what I do, but not from a place of inadequacy, from a place of just wanting to be better at my craft. That is really how all entrepreneurs need to operate to be able to improve their current results. If you get stagnant, if you get like, oh, well, I know enough already, then, which most people don't, most people are the opposite, then you just stagnate. And what happens? Everybody else passes you by. So, Hi. No, you haven't missed a lot yet. We're just talking about the what imposter syndrome is. So, if even Richard Branson, this was a story that I heard about 10 years ago. He was about to speak on stage, and he was talking to the MC backstage just before he was introduced. And he's obviously a multi-billionaire at this point. He's built a massive brand in Virgin. He's got an airline. He's got his Virgin brand on loads of different businesses. He's not running them because Virgin was a brand that was for sale. And but he's obviously a global, one of the biggest billionaires in the world, one of the biggest, most successful entrepreneurs in the world. And he says to the MC, I just don't know what I have to say that's of any value to anyone. Like, excuse me? What? You're Richard Branson. Like, everybody is hanging on every word that you say, Richard. Seriously? You're Sir Richard Branson. So everybody has this to a certain extent. Well, unless you're a psychopathic narcissist, then you don't really care. You just think the world revolves around you. So, what we're going to do today is I'm going to you to do an exercise and actually identify the value that you already have that is so incredibly valuable to the marketplace. And it's not about education. It's not about that, can be a part of it, but your life experience, that is so incredibly valuable. The skills that you have picked up along the way as you have overcome certain challenges throughout your life, life is a series of challenges. And your ability to solve those challenges and find solutions to those problems, somebody needs to know that stuff. So instead of diminishing your journey, actually put it in the spotlight. Your journey. What problems have you solved successfully or are in the process of solving that other people are still struggling with and they don't know how? There are a lot of people out there with problems that don't even know where to start. So if you even have a process just to get started and make progress, that is valuable to those people who are still floundering, racking their brains about how the hell to solve a specific problem. So let me tell you a story about my neighbor. So I have a wonderful neighbor. She's absolutely lovely. And she used to work in a cafe in a hospital many years ago. She was there. She had a friend. I think it was her friend's daughter who actually had eczema, and it was really bad. And her friend had tried everything to help her daughter's eczema. And Helen, who's just an incredibly helpful person, she had no intention of starting a business of any kind. She just sort of did some research. She found all these ingredients that she already had at home anyway because she had natural tendencies, and she put them together in this cream. And she just said, "Here, try this." Now, I don't know if she modified it in any way along the way, but the cream, it worked. Nothing else had worked for this woman's daughter, and this cream worked. And of course, she's working in a hospital. So she sort of told a few people in the hospital about it. And then nurses started to say, "Hey, I've heard you've got this cream. Can I buy some from you?" And Helen went, "Okay." So Helen made up another batch and she started selling it. And they went ballistic over it. The nurses loved it. The word got around the hospital. Everybody was coming to Helen for this cream that she made. All of a sudden, she had a business overnight that she didn't even realize was waiting to be birthed through her. She didn't sit down and think, what business am I going to build? So now Helen isn't a massive enterprise. She's actually quite cognizant about staying small because we have the Therapeutic Goods Administration here. It's the TGA. It's kind of the Australian equivalent of the FDA in America. And it's a pain in the butt, to be honest. If you can imagine, it is 92% funded by Big Pharma. Yep. So they're dogs at a bone when it comes to natural remedies, particularly ones that really work. So Helen just goes about, she goes to markets and she sells her product online, and she does really, really well. So she's not into big distribution. She could do that if she wanted to, but she's happy and brings in a really good income. But that was a problem that she solved for somebody that just took off on its own. It sort of got a momentum of its own without even her intention of building a business. So, I mean, how cool is that? That's how simple and easy it can be when you have the right intention, the right mindset, and you just want to help somebody and provide a solution for them, and it's effective. So let's disentangle this whole business has to be really hard and I have to get everything right and I can't fail. And, I don't know if that first attempt at that cream was the one that she has now. But, maybe she just had to tweak it a little bit. But hey, okay, so this is the process. You try something, and if it doesn't work, then you try again. But you find a solution and a process and a formula that works. And then that provides value to people who need to solve that problem. That's the whole thing. So stop thinking that you have to be this super duper expert in freaking anything. You're already an expert in something. So I'll stop prattling now and get you to do a little exercise for me. I want you to think through your life and think about problems that you had that you learned how to solve, that you found a solution. Now, you may not have even recognized or identified that you successfully came up with a solution to a problem at this point. You navigated it, you did this, you did that, and it worked, and you got on with your life. Well, that could be valuable to somebody, okay? Whether it be back pain or a skin condition or some kind of health problem or a financial issue or whatever, could be anything. But just identify the things that you have done well with in your life and the things that you figured out. Think back throughout your life and those challenges that came up for you that you found a way to solve or you're in the process of solving. You don't have to have got it all figured out. And you know what? None of us have got it all figured out. I heard one of the big gurus say many, many years ago, we're all making this up as we go. I set myself a challenge this year to really expand my YouTube channel massively. So up until this year, I really haven't had much of a strategy. I just threw videos up and hoped for the best. And I got a little bit of an audience. And I love my audience. I love you all. But now it's a bit more serious. Now I have to look at, okay, I have to be serious about my thumbnails and my hooks and the beginning of my videos. And now I'm doing shorts. And there's a whole strategy and a formula that I'm working on now to really grow my YouTube channel. And it's certainly not easy, but I'm just continuing to try stuff until I figure out what really works. And of course, the foundation of it all is my favorite thing in the world, tapping. It's a thing I've been doing for almost 20 years and it works. And I see the results for people and the results are freaking amazing. And I'm really passionate about this particular technique. I have loads of other skills, but the thing that I lead with is the tapping because I know that my audience relates to this kind of technique and people get results fast. They feel and identify that this is a process and a technique that can really help them very quickly. So now that you've thought about some of the things that you've figured out along the way, let's look at your gifts and talents. What do you do well that other people can struggle with? What do you play at that other people have to work at? What are the things that people compliment you on? What are things that just come naturally to you, naturally, easily? Are you a great communicator? Are you good with figures and numbers? Are you great with your hands? Are you crafty? Laurie and I actually took the day off yesterday, and Laurie and I went into my favourite markets of all, the Monday markets, and we just looked around, and they're very, very crafty. And to see the kinds of things that people are creating just blows my mind. And I just feel so uplifted when I go to the markets and to see people's ingenuity. And actually, there was one stall in particular that was it was for kids from a Catholic college, so they're doing like an entrepreneurial business program in school, and I'm like, hallelujah, this is what kids need to be learning. Each kid has worked with their teacher and identified just a little product that they can make from scratch, and there's about half a dozen of them all selling these products, and they were really cool. They were very innovative. And this is what we need to be doing for our kids. Teaching them these skills to set them up for success in the long run, and being able to generate an income through their own ingenuity and using and doing things that they love. And you could see the kids were so engaged. And I just wanted to buy everything, but I didn't. I bought one thing, I think, but I'm going to go back. I'm going to go buy more stuff from them because I just wanted to reward them for their efforts, and they were really enthusiastic and they were absolutely loving it. So even these kids, haven't necessarily had a lot of life experience behind them, but they're thinking about, oh, well, what's already working? And what do people already sell in the marketplace that would be of value that I can perhaps create something that's a bit new? So, what are your gifts and talents? What do you love to do? What do you love to spend time doing? What lights you up? What problems do you want to solve? What problems in the world break your heart that you can effectively find solutions for? So, there are big problems in the world that break my heart. I'm not necessarily in a position to be able to find solutions to those problems, but I can come back to a micro scale and think about how can I help people on a smaller scale. And one of my passions is to help conscious entrepreneurs to build an unstoppable mindset and overcome their feelings of inadequacy. Oh, I can't even say the word. Their feelings of inadequacy, so they can be a bright, shining light who is doing their thing in the world and making money, being profitable, and being able to help make the world a better place, doing what they love. That is one of my passions. So I want you to now think about, now that you've thought about your gifts and talents and you've hopefully written some down, I want you to think about that little voice in your head that says, oh, but who am I? I don't know enough. There are people in the world who know so much more than me. I don't know even where to start building this business, or maybe you've already started a business and you're going, oh, I don't have enough knowledge. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm not smart enough. I don't have the resources. I don't have the financial backing. Any area that you feel I'm not enough, or I'm an imposter. What if my audience finds out that I'm just a fraud, that I'm just pretending? Don't worry, we all have that little nagging voice back here that says, oh my God. It's just because we think we have to be the expert to put ourselves out there. No, we don't. So let's do some targeted tapping on that. Let's start by tapping on the side of the hand and repeat after me. Even though I feel inadequate. I deeply and completely love and accept all of me. Even though I feel like a fraud and I'm worried people are going to find out that I'm a fraud, I deeply and completely love and accept all of me. Even though I feel like an imposter, like I'm pretending to be something that I'm not, and people are going to find out, I deeply and completely love and accept who I am and how I feel right now. I feel like a fraud. I feel like an imposter. What do I know that other people need to know? What do I know that can help anybody? Who am I to put myself out there? I'm just little old me. I'm just worried people are going to find out I'm a fraud. I feel like an imposter. I don't know enough. I don't have enough experience. I need more skills. I need to do more courses. I can't possibly put myself out there yet. I'm just not ready. What if I have loads of value to offer? Just as I am. I destroy, uncreate, and delete feeling inadequate. I destroy, uncreate, and delete feeling like I don't measure up. I destroy, uncreate, and delete feeling like a fraud. I destroy, uncreate, and delete feeling like an imposter. I destroy, uncreate, and delete feeling like I'm not enough. I destroy, uncreate, and delete I don't know enough. I destroy, uncreate, and delete worrying that they'll find out I'm a fraud. I destroy, uncreate, and delete feeling like an imposter. I destroy, uncreate, and delete feeling like I don't know enough. I don't have enough experience. Feeling like I'm inadequate and don't have enough skills. I choose to know I have so much value to offer the world. I choose to know I am enough just as I am. I choose to know I am perfect, whole, and complete just the way I am. I choose to know I have massive value to offer. I choose to know there are skills that I have and knowledge that I have that could help a lot of people. What I need to do is package it up because I could help so many people with what I already know and the skills I already have. I choose to know I am enough and I know enough just as I am. I am in the perfect place to build something really significant. that helps people and offers loads of value. I just need to get out of my own way. I'm ready to go all in on sharing my brilliance with the world, because I have so much brilliance that I haven't even recognized yet. And I give myself permission to recognize my brilliance. I give myself permission to recognize the value that I offer. Okay, take a deep breath. Now, you could work with those things and you could come up with your own phrases with tapping on all of that. And I just hope that you keep tapping throughout this whole session. I just hope that you keep tapping because it really does help calm the central nervous system. And, what we're going to be doing next week is we're going to be looking at fear of failure, and in future videos, fear of success, and all the things that actually stop people from really going full throttle on building something that makes a difference in the world. Because you are not here by accident. The journey that you have had is for a reason. And it would be a crying shame for you not to use the skills that you have, the knowledge and the wisdom that you have developed along the way because of your journey. The incredible gifts and talents that you have inside of you that you may not have even identified yet. And if you didn't, you weren't that shining light for the world, because that's who you're here to be. You are here to be a shining light for the world in some way, shape, or form. What does that look like? And just start. You don't have to have all this figured out. You're never going to have all of this figured out. We're all just figuring it out. Be okay with that. Just step by step by step by step. You only have to know what is the next most logical step. That is the only thing you really need to know to just start. What, with the knowledge that I have, what is the next most logical step? That's it. You don't have to know how to build a $1 billion empire. If you did, I hope you would have done it already. You just have to know and ask yourself, what is the next most logical step? There's a question. What if you have a spiritual gift but don't know how to use it or set intentions? Like, I have a lot of power, but I don't protect my power and I get drained and I need boundaries from vampires. Well, you just asked a question that you can go on the internet and you can find any number of processes to be able to protect yourself. Protecting yourself isn't hard. You just find a process, and there's thousands of them out there, that you protect yourself with the work, and you have a clearing process that clears toxic energies. That's easy. If that's what's stopping you, then just solve that issue. And there's a gazillion ways to do it. And this is the process of getting yourself out there. It's solving these issues one at a time as they come up. You solve those issues one at a time. And then the next issue and problem and challenge will come up. And you solve that. And then the next issue and problem will come up. And you solve that. That is success. That is life. And the better you get at solving problems, the more quickly you will advance in this journey. The more quickly you will build a mindset that says, hey, I'm solving problems. I'm actually getting pretty good at this. The better you get at solving problems, the quicker you advance. So, that's not my specialty. Vampires and witchcraft are not my specialty, but there's loads of people out there who that is their specialty. And, working with somebody, I'm actually offering at the moment, I am offering a pay what you can coaching, and I've got just about everybody locked in. A 6-week coaching, pay what you can. It's by application. So if you want to apply, then comment below that you want to apply for my pay what you can initiative. And there's very limited spots and they're filling fast. So you want to get in and get your application in. And because I want to help a community who doesn't necessarily have the funds, the financial funds, to pay a coach what's required for a good coach. So if that's something that you want to participate in, because working with somebody is one of the most powerful ways that you can make progress and overcome these problems and challenges. And it's not that you don't already know or have the ability to find out how to solve these problems. It's just that maybe you need a little guidance and support. Maybe there's fears, doubts, and blocks that are stopping you from actually using the skills that you already have to solve the problems that you're currently facing. Maybe you feel like I'm not good enough, or I don't deserve it, or it's not safe, or you have a fear of failure, or you have a fear of success. Whatever that fear is, you can overcome it very quickly with the right support and the right guidance. So if you're ready to get unstuck, let me know. So whatever your biggest challenge is, you have the ability to solve it. And if you are feeling inadequate, then enough already. Because you're amazing, you are brilliant, you have the ability to achieve absolutely anything. And it is that belief in yourself. And no, you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to have it all figured out. And yes, you're going to feel inadequate and you're going to feel like a fraud. So what? One of the biggest things that stops people is their fear of judgment and criticism. Now, I will put a link in the description of this video to help you to overcome that fear of judgment and criticism, because that is one of the most, as well as a fear of feeling like a fraud, imposter syndrome. That fear is one of the most crippling fears. That's why one of the biggest fears that people say they have is a fear of public speaking. It's because they're afraid of feeling judged and criticized by others. That is the foundation of the fear of public speaking. What if I make a fool of myself? What if I get something wrong? What if people don't like me? What if they criticize me? What if I say something stupid? What if they laugh at me? What if I'm humiliated? What if they come up to me afterwards and tell me that was just horrendous? Do you know that if you speak to a room of 100 people and 99 people absolutely loved it, you get a standing ovation. And some people come up to you afterwards and go, man, that was amazing. I loved it. Thank you very much. And one person comes up to you and goes, that was abysmal. Like, you did this wrong. You did that wrong. You're a shocking speaker. You don't know your craft. You blah, 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 blah. Just because they're a-holes. Just because they want to take you down because they've got unresolved trauma and crap from their childhood. What's going to stick in your head? You know, don't you? The 99 people will dissolve into the dustbin of history, and the one person in the room who didn't like you, you're going to carry that with you. This is our natural tendency. We take that on, and all of a sudden the shame and the guilt and the I'm not good enough kicks in. That stops now, because I remember Dr. Wayne Dyer. I went to see him many, many, many years ago, rest his soul, in a seminar that he was giving here in Australia. And he was freaking brilliant. And he said, I walk out on stage and I know there's several hundred people in this auditorium and there's going to be hundreds of opinions of me. Some will love me. Some will hate me. There'll be loads in between. There will be people who disagree with me. There will be people who agree with me. That is out of my control. And I am not concerned about that. All I'm concerned about is speaking my truth, is showing up authentically and being who I truly am and sharing the wisdom that I have with those who are willing to hear it. And that really stuck with me. It's an incredible perspective and mindset to develop, that you let go of your fears about what people think about you. So I didn't realize that I've gone way over time. Thank you for being here with me. To those who are here live, thank you for those who are watching the replay. It is always an honor and a pleasure to tap with you, and keep tapping. Keep identifying whatever limiting beliefs, fears, and doubts that you have that are holding you back. Tap them away, or at least tap them so they are no longer dominating your life and causing you to shrink into the background and not share your brilliance with the world, because you are freaking amazing. Whatever problems you have, they are solvable. You are bigger than any problem or challenge you will ever face. Solve them. Get into it. I love you. Be amazing. Do amazing things. Go out and share your brilliance with the world, and stop shrinking and comparing yourself to everybody else. It does not serve you. I love you, lads. I'll see you again in the next tapping session. Ciao.